On this episode of Trying Vegan with Mario, I'm gonna be making veganized versions of some very familiar appetizers, some finger foods. I'm gonna be making some sriracha meatballs, but I'm gonna be using jackfruit, one of the biggest fruits in the world, to make a meaty pulled pork texture. Not the word vegan meatball quite yet, but I can't think of a better term for this because it does taste and have that texture and that meatiness and that umami flavor as eating a meatball. So we're gonna call these our sriracha jackfruit meatballs. And then after that, my special guest, Oakley, the Avantgarde vegan, is gonna come and join me in my kitchen. The first step for my jackfruit sriracha meatballs is dry roasting some of this garbanzo bean flour. So I got about a cup of garbanzo bean flour, and when we dry roast that, it's gonna start to get a little bit nutty, and we're gonna let that go for about 5 to 7 minutes on a medium heat, and we're gonna be stirring it every 2 minutes throughout. Just work it around. You don't wanna burn any of it, but it does take some time. Just let it dry roast. Here we go with that nutty smell. We're gonna take our flour, and then we're just gonna add it to our mixing bowl. I have my jackfruit. As you can see, this is already pre-packaged, it's already pre-seasoned and flavored. Something you don't always see. It's one of the world's biggest fruits when it's fully grown, is insanely meaty. We're gonna add this to the pan and just let this cook down and heat up.
Baby, I've been getting so lost in everything about you be flossing. Wanna be with you to the coffin. I'm lost in.
So we got our jackfruit and our chickpea flour. Now we're just gonna start adding a bunch of ingredients. Right here I have ½ teaspoon of cumin. I got a ½ teaspoon of gram masala, and it's usually a different variation or combination of bay leaves, cardamom, cumin, and a lot of those earthy, sweet, and spicy different types of flavors. So we added about a ½ teaspoon of that. I got a ½ teaspoon of paprika right here, tablespoon of chopped up parsley, about a tablespoon of white miso paste. This is gonna add to that umami flavor. Gonna add in a squeeze of sriracha for a nice kick. Pinch of pink Himalayan salt, 2 cloves of garlic. Now we just want to cut off a couple centimeters of some ginger. Do the same, you don't have to get it too fine and minced up into a paste, but at least break it down a little bit. Comes out to be about a tablespoon each of garlic and ginger. Gonna juice in just a little bit of lemon. Let's just start mashing this all together and mixing it up. And I'm just gonna add in about a 1/4 cup of water to help some of it combine a little bit better. Get your hands in there and really start to work it into a ball. See it start to form. Get that going while we're continuing to mix this. About a tablespoon of olive oil. A little tip to test to see if your oil is ready, just drop in a little bit of your batter and see if it starts to sizzle. Ours is sizzling. We know our oil is ready. Now we're gonna start making these golf ball sized meatballs. I got one right there. Drop it in. We got one. Make as many as you can for a bunch of friends and family. Now we're gonna let these cook for about 5 minutes, and we're gonna roll them around during the process to make sure they cook evenly. When we come back, jackfruit sriracha meatballs. How can we make food that looks good, tastes good, but is plant-based, and little would you know, it's very nutrient dense at the same time. And I think we accomplish it with these jackfruit meatballs. An amazing combination, jackfruit and miso, sriracha, vegan meatballs. When we come back, my special guest, Gaz, is gonna come and join me in my kitchen and teach me how to make a traditional recipe veganized from his hometown. They're called Welsh Rarebits. He jokes that it's just bread, onions, and toast, but he shows me an incredible tip for making the most stringy, melty vegan cheese that I have ever had. All that when we come back on Trying Vegan with Mario. To watch full episodes, check your channel guide and see if I'm playing in your area. My full episodes are also streaming on Roku.
In the kitchen, trying vegan with Mario.
It's me, Mario. Trying Vegan with Mario.
If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up.